Thanks so much for your patience. Sorry, I'm still not used to conducting online interviews, so it takes me.
Not to worry.
Let me just set this up here. Can you hear me right now?
Okay, now yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, okay, great. Okay, so um, you're a teacher in the program, is that right?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. What do you normally teach, or what classes have you taught so far?
I have taught business environment, and this next term I will be teaching competing with technology and information.
Oh, okay, great. When Jeannie had given me the list of names, I wasn't exactly sure who did what because I'm a little bit new here, so I'm still getting used to how things are. Um, so I'll go ahead and just launch into my questions if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So, what do you enjoy most about the program, and what works well for you?
I think the aspect that I enjoy most is the Google Hangout component to the course, and I think that that is because as an online learner, it's easy to feel really disconnected or disengaged to the classroom environment, which has been shown to really affect follow through, completion rates, things like that. But the Google Hangout component, it really offers a venue, an opportunity for students to engage with each other, to engage with me as the instructor, and to really bring that personal aspect back to the class. I like to use the Google Hangout times to not only ask questions of the students to ensure that they are keeping up on their work, but also to use it as kind of a classroom discussion time. You know, we discuss some of the key points together and share our thoughts, and it just gives the students an opportunity to not just be taking all the information in, you know, reading the text and watching the videos online, but then to also discuss it, which offers a really valuable component to learning, which is often lacking in online learning programs. And so that, I think, is by far my favorite, or the piece of this program that I like the most.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of people say that about the Google Hangouts, and I think that's really excellent. I'm a student at PSU, and I haven't had teachers try to utilize that, so I think that's really awesome about the program. I'm not a
Yeah.
business student, but working for this program has made me think, oh, I wish I was in this program. It sounds amazing. Um, so what challenges have you faced being in the program? And if a challenge has arisen, what have you done to um, address those challenges?
Yeah, you know, every program does have its challenges. I have been teaching for a number of years, and so I feel like I've really worked through all of my kinks, you know, as an instructor, so to speak. And so um, I think the biggest challenge would be more of a technical piece. This program they really focus on the instructors providing a weekly quiz. And so it's basically a weekly quiz on the chapters. All the classes are really urged to do this. And this just helps ensure that the students are keeping up on the reading, because what we've learned with online learners, really any learner, but online learners more specifically, it's easy for them to fall behind as far as with the material. And so this is a component that they've added to try to hold students accountable for keeping up with the material. However, that has been the most challenging piece. That's the piece that the students struggle the most with, the weekly quizzes, as far as performing well on them. And then, so their feedback, any negative feedback or needs improvement type feedback is usually around those weekly quizzes. And so while I agree with the program that it's an important component ensuring that students stay on track, I feel like maybe there's a way we can adjust it to find a way that we are ensuring that students are on track, but at the same time, it not being such a stressful activity, because so many people associate quizzes and tests with test anxiety and stress and things like that. And so sometimes I wonder if there's a different way to go about it with achieving the exact same result.
Mm-hmm. That totally makes sense. What about, do you see any advantages to the cohort aspect of the program? And can you describe any sort of, or how you think about that?
Yes. So the cohort aspect, I myself, in my undergraduate career, I was not in a cohort format at all. In my graduate programs, for a portion of my graduate programs, I was myself in a cohort. And I found it extremely beneficial. It was kind of enlightening to me. You have the same group of students. Well, I mean, of course, there are some people that come and go, but essentially you have this core group of students, then you're going through this together. And academia, an educational, going through a degree program, it has its struggles, it has its smooth points, but at the end of the day, it's a challenge. It's a challenge no matter where you are in life. If you're working full-time, if you're a parent, if you're even just a full-time student, there are challenges, but sitting along with this, the same core group of people through your program, statistically, it's shown to really increase completion rates, because you feel like you have this, this family of peers. You see the same faces in every class. You get used to each other. You create friendships. Your support for each other. After a few classes, you're so comfortable with your classmates that it's second nature to reach out to them with a question. It's second nature to feel supported by them. I feel like the cohort really offers essentially a subcategory of support for students that the university itself can't necessarily offer. Teachers try to be available when they can. There's all kinds of student support resources available on most all campuses, and those are valuable. But a cohort offers a whole nother level of support for students. And our goal in this busy, busy world that we live in the changing times and the economic climate that we're in, the average student is working. The average student is juggling life, work, and school, and it's harder than it was 30, 40 years ago. And so anything that we can implement that adds another layer of support to students is valuable. And that's what I see the cohort kind of structure as, a whole nother layer of support for our students.
Yeah, that's excellent. Everybody has also said something similar about the cohort aspect of the program when I've asked them, and I just wish that I had a cohort for my program.
Yeah, it's very valuable. It's I don't think as a student, I don't think I would have, before having been in a cohort, I don't think I would have thought, oh, this is an important aspect. I don't think I would have chosen a program based on that. But on the tail end of having been in a cohort in the past and then teaching in a cohort format, I think that if I was to do another degree program in my future, I think I would really seek that out.
Yeah, and I don't think on the undergraduate level there's a whole lot of programs here at PSU that you have
No,
that cohort
yeah,
into. So,
not super common.
so would you recommend this program, and what kind of student or even faculty member would you recommend it to?
Yeah.
Either for a student who's wanting to possibly come into the program, or even a faculty member who may be interested in teaching the program, or just might be skeptical of the online learning environment.
Yeah, I've taught in the classroom. I've taught strictly online courses that have no face-to-face component. I've taught large classes up to 100 students, and I've taught smaller classes, as few as 20 students. I would say for an instructor who's just breaking into online learning, this program is a great opportunity because you still get that face-to-face component with your students that you're used to. Whereas if you dive into a strictly online, no face-to-face component, it can feel very detached from your students, and you aren't sure, are they learning? Am I really teaching them anything? It gives a really good middle ground. And so for instructors that are looking to break into online learning, I feel like it's a wonderful avenue for that because it kind of is the best of both worlds. Um, for a student, I feel like if they've never done online learning and they're nervous, can I be successful in an online class? I don't even know how to, teach myself this information. This is again one of those ideal situations where you're going to be seeing your instructor face to face. You're going to be able to ask questions of your classmates, of your instructor, in real time. Not just through an email that you might get a response in a few days. Um, and you also get discussion and lecture and things like that that you don't get in the average online class. And so I think for anyone who's never had an online experience, whether it be an instructor or a student, I feel like this is really a way to ease into that type of environment. For those who have done online learning or have taught online and are maybe a little fearful of that face-to-face component, um, I would say that they would be pleasantly surprised at the sense of community and support that they would feel that they might not even have realized was lacking in the past.
Great. And it's kind of related. I just have a couple more questions left. But from your view, how do you think the program compares to uh, in physically going into a classroom, on-ground classrooms at PSU?
Okay. Um, that's a great question. So, as as an online instructor, I understand that students that are taking online courses are taking online courses generally because they either don't have the time to be on campus or their life is structured so that they need to be able to do their work and do the classwork when it fits their schedule. And so with that in mind, as an online learner, I'm an instructor, I'm available. I ensure a response to email within 24 hours, 7 days a week. But at the same time, we're having face-to-face discussions. So this program kind of offers the best, like both of those opportunities, to do your work when you want, to have an instructor who's responsive when you need them responsive, but at the same time have the face-to-face. Whereas a classroom environment, usually your only interaction with the instructor is at your scheduled class time, and potentially you could drop in during their 1 or 2 office hours during the week. If you send them an email, it might take them several days to get back to you. So you really are on a fairly structured timeline for when you're going to be able to interact with the instructor and get answers to questions. Whereas this format, you're an online learner and your instructor is much more available as far as questions and support via email, phone calls, things like that. But at the same time, you're also getting that lecture, discussion component. Does that answer your question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Definitely. And the last question is just kind of an open one. Is there anything about the program, about being a part of it, the experience of it, that you think is important for someone to know or that you would like to share that wasn't really addressed in the questions that I asked you?
Um, I think one thing that's really important to acknowledge and understand and realize is that because of our economy, because of the state of our economy, because students today are expected to not only be students but be employees and be caregivers, and the world in which we live and the economic situation, it's very rare that you have students today that are just full-time students. That's extremely uncommon now, and online learning can be intimidating, it can be scary, but in most cases, it's a necessity. It's not necessarily a choice, but it's if I want a degree, if I want to be successful in this, I'm going to have to take online classes. And this program, it really offers the Google Hangouts, the cohort aspect. It offers layers of support to help students be successful in that goal, in that dream. And I've taught in other online programs that are not cohorts, that do not have a face-to-face component, and it's a very different feel. And I feel like this program, number one, is beneficial because of the layers of support that are kind of enfolded in the format, but also because Portland State University, I've taught for other universities, and Portland State University, just by fostering and creating and offering this type of a format to students, it really embodies what this university is about. This university is not just about developing degree programs that are successful and filtering students through, but going out of their way to find out how can they support their learners achieve their goals. And so I think that's a really important thing for people to understand. Online learning is necessary. In this day and age, in fact, there are so many, the brick and mortar classrooms, those are almost going the way of the past. And so if we're going to be launching into this online learning era, then programs like this, they're revolutionary because they're offering support, they're offering a personal face-to-face connection where other programs aren't. And so I think it speaks volumes of Portland State University and their commitment to students, as well as it gives an option. It gives an option for online learning that is engaging, that is supportive, and I feel like it's revolutionary. I'm sure 15, 20 years from now, this, it won't be so revolutionary. In fact, it might be even standard across the board, which would be amazing. But today, in this, environment, this is revolutionary, and I think that I'm excited to even be a part of it at this point, and I'm excited for what it offers to the students.
Well, that's totally awesome. Thanks so much for sharing your thoughts. I feel excited too, even though I'm not in the program. But yeah, again, thanks so much for your time and for being willing to do it, even with the online.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, that's not a bad thing for you, so. But that's all the questions that I have for you today. So again, thanks so much for your time, and I will look forward to putting together the video.
Yeah, that's great. Will we get to see the video when you're done with it?
Yeah, I'll send you a link. I'm not sure what parts are going to make it in the video when all is said and done, but either way, I'll just send everybody who participated the link, so it won't just be like, oh, I was interviewed and I have no idea where it went.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's fun. I'm happy to be a part of it, and I'm happy to answer any questions and support this program in any way that I can.
Oh, that's totally awesome. Well, thanks so much, and take care.
You too. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.